Hello everybody, welcome to my garden again. I got a lot of responses about whether or not we should be trying this in another form, and I think the consensus was yes, we probably should. But until I get to that point, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure whether or not I could keep content on it year-round. I do have some plans in motion to make sure that I could. A greenhouse. We're just gonna have to see whether or not I can actually manage it though. But before we do that, a bit of a tomato harvest, thankfully, because I was actually out of tomatoes. Also, I did a little bit of work in the other garden. I probably should have recorded it now that I think about it, but it was kind of late in the evening time and I wasn't really thinking I was gonna go out there and do anything. But I staked up and pruned my summer squash. They were falling out of the bed and they were getting some like sort of weird fungus from the gooey flowers that just kind of, the unpollinated flowers that kind of failed. But we're gonna go over there and take a peek at those too before we head back inside. But it is god awful hot out here. So we're gonna do that and then we're gonna head back inside. Woo! Toasty! Okay, I'm gonna show you really quick what I do with the squash. Alright, I hope that this is actually capturing what I had to do. I took olive from the base of the plant all the way up to where I was seeing the newest of flowers and trimmed all of the stuff off. I actually missed one or two, I think. No, that's trimmed off. It's just sitting there. It's dangling. Oh, see, there is an example of what it was doing right there. Can you see that? Yeah, it was doing that on every single one of them. And I'm kind of worried about the plant whenever it does that. So I picked them up off the ground. I staked them in the ground with these, tied them up, got off the lower flowers and allowed some airflow into the plant. Got a little bit of growth coming in here. Oh, there, see, there's that again. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure how these guys are doing. I've never tried growing these before. I mean, they are putting out fruit, but I'm not really sure exactly what I'm expecting. Oh, I just saw some really cool looking flowers. I wonder if I can snatch some of them and plant them in my garden. Okay. Sit on this nice wet ground over here and chit chat. I talked in the last episode about us getting the property and everything, and we do have some additional areas that I can garden now, but some of it is actually going to require like clearing areas. The area that I'm sitting at right now would be the perfect place for a greenhouse. There's a couple of concrete things that are just sitting there. I think those would be good, you know, bases for a greenhouse, which would be absolutely amazing if we could do a little bit of growing during the off season. But I think one of the first things I gotta do is clear out this line of bushes, sadly. I'm gonna have to clear those back and trim them up. I'm not gonna be able to keep up with which part of the phrases I'm saying that I'm gonna have to go over because of traffic. It would give me an awesome opportunity to be able to grow during the wintertime, which would make it a little bit easier for me to do content during the wintertime, because as of right now, I can't even start indoor plants at all because my cats just like playing around with them and knocking them down. And I'm trying to propagate a couple of my indoor plants that I have hanging, and the way I have to propagate them is just cutting off some of the vines and putting them in water, and they just grow more roots. Well, I've got one of the cats that likes to get up there and drink all the water out and constantly kill back the growth that they already have. So I don't think me trying to start my seeds indoors for next year is going to be a good idea, nor is it going to be a good idea for during the wintertime trying to grow anything indoors. The cats are just going to annihilate it. So if I can find some thrift stores or maybe yard sales or something like that that are like getting rid of old windows and things like that, I think I'm going to try over the rest of the summertime and up into the wintertime, trying to accumulate enough windows to try and throw together a rustic style greenhouse. We're just going to have to see how that goes. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the day. I'm going to have to find the best time to come out here and do all of this because I'm constantly having to pause every time a vehicle goes down the highway, and as you can imagine, I said highway. It happens a lot. And until I can get to the other side of the property and put in some, I don't know, some noise breaks of some sort, some sort of I don't know, bush hedge, something or another between us and the highway. It's just going to get louder and louder every time I try to record. So that is it for the day. I hope you enjoyed that tiny bit of the garden, and I will see you guys next time. Hello everybody, welcome back to the garden. We are probably going to be combining this with a couple of other videos because I haven't had a chance to upload them, but I have been doing updates, just finding time to have room in my schedule to upload them. So yeah, that's a work in progress, but there have been other things that are progressing as such. Hang on, let me walk into the garden. From the right, we got our peppers, well, mint, one green bean left, my peppers, banana pepper, jalapeno. We have some new cilantro growing. We've got this bed back here and this bed right here. This one's been planted up, and I will be planting this one up very, very soon. And then we've got the cucumbers all the way up there. My very first sunflowers, pretty cool. And then we've got onions and the 2 tomato plants that are my indeterminate varieties. My determinants are done. They didn't produce as well as I would have liked for them to do. But I did learn a lot about growing those type of tomatoes this year, which is basically what my entire garden this year has been, is learning process. Let me try and get where I can prop my arm up. I do apologize, my face is like really, really messy. I just got finished. Well, I'm not sure exactly when this is going to go up, so I guess this is probably old news by now, but we had an incident where my daughter got bit by something. We think it was a spider. So I had to go around the entire house and parts of the yard and stuff that were pretty close to the house and put down some diatomaceous earth, hoping to take care of some of the pest issues. We're hoping that works, but tea is very, very hot, and putting powders all over the place is kind of sweaty. Anyway, another thing to draw your attention to is this down here, which is the other section of our property. That is going to be the boys' rooms, the boys' house, whatever it is, but in between is going to be a greenhouse, and I can't even see it from where I'm standing. I'm trying not to have to move around too much because it tends to get very, very loud, very quiet, and at different times I have vehicles going through, so it gets weird. This section right here, please excuse all of the noise from all of that. I really can't do anything about that. I don't have a good microphone. If you have any good recommendations for lapel mics, guys, let me know. Greenhouse, and then this little, can you see it? I can't see it because I can't see the screen because it's all blurry because I'm old. We've got another concrete mat right there, and we have determined that is where the chicken coop is going to go. That awkward moment when you're filming yourself in your yard and your neighbors go by and see you filming yourself in your yard. Anywho, yeah, sure, that will work. Anyway, we're going to put the chicken coop right behind us, so they'll have like an elevated area, so they won't have to worry about being in the water. And half of their coop, of course, is going to be covered for, you know, where they do their egg laying and stuff like that. And then the other half is going to be an outdoor area that is elevated up off the ground. And then we'll have them a chicken run that either comes this way, up the greenhouse area, or it's going to go further down the yard. We're not really sure, but right now I've got a project that is going on this weekend where I'm going to be cleaning out my barn. That was only slightly creepy. I turned the camera over there, and there's a group of squirrels playing Tarzan in one of those trees. Anywho, it's my barn because we have a garage already that's been moved down to the other property, to the lower property, I guess we could say. It's on the lower property. That's where all of the other stuff gets taken care of, all the vehicle stuff and all the tractor stuff. Lawnmower. So that's where all that's going to happen at. So I've got this area where I'll be able to store the soil, all of the gardening gear, the fertilizers, the chicken feed. Heck, the dog food could probably finally come out of the house instead of sitting inside the house because the dogs live outside. But yeah, plans are starting to come together. We're finally getting an idea of where things are going to go. And it looks like we might actually be on track. Maybe. Who knows? It could have happened sooner. I have no idea. There's just a couple of things that need to happen, and they have to happen in order, sadly. So we're waiting to see exactly what's going to happen and how long it's going to take. For instance, the other building that's down there, the entire side of the building, there was a huge leak. So the front half of it is usable. It's good wood, the whole 9 yards. The back half, where the kitchen area and back porch are, have to be ripped off and redone. So we're probably going to have machinery down there to help with that. We're going to have a contractor come in because we don't know that much about it. The center section, that's where the... Bam is going to be very upset that I don't know what the name of that machine is. That's what he drives. He was just driving it a little while ago. I've got some pictures of it. I'll put it up somewhere over wherever Editing Liz decides to put it. He's cleaning that area up, and that's going to be another garden. It'll probably be... I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be, because the main problem that we're having to wait for are our trees, because a lot of these trees are extremely old. We've got one, I'll show you in just a second, that is, it's got to be over 100 years old, and the problem is it's also hollow, which is bad. And there's a few trees that are kind of like that need to come down, like the upper branches need to come down. There's a few sitting over the house and things like that, so all of those things need to be worked on. That's one of the things that I have to wait on in order to formulate where everything is going to go, is those trees. Because, of course, we need sun for most of the garden, at least 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours for a lot of the crops. So wherever my sunlight is during the days and how long it gets sun is going to change where all of my stuff goes. But I guess what I could probably call a lower garden, because that's the lower property, but I'm not planning on putting gardening. I'm pointing places you guys can't even see. Down there is the lower property where the new garage is. And this is the garage that I'm going to be working on. And my puppers live over there. And that's my mini garden, which will probably eventually turn into either my herb garden, my kitchen herb garden, or the experimental garden, because I still want to experiment with different stuff, but I want to be able to keep an eye on it to see what grows best in our area. Or it might also be as a divider. If I decide to grow different types of peppers and I want to keep them away from each other and save the seeds, I might do that, but it also would probably work better if I just utilize the greenhouse and put one type of seed in the greenhouse and one type of seed outside, and hope that that keeps the flavors from melding improperly. Anyway, so that's going to be the lower garden over there, and I plan on doing some blackberries and raspberries and an elderberry or two at least. So those are ideas. But there are things and stuff going on. It's just waiting on equipment and waiting on time in between jobs and everything else like that for all of us to be able to do the things that need doing. Like this house back here is eventually going to be functioning, and whenever that happens, my sons will be moving over there. Well, my son and my nephew will be moving over there. Unless they've changed their minds, that's all up to them on whether or not they want to do that or find their own place. It's all up to them. But either way, then I will also have an area where I can put up all of the food. I can can the food. I'll have a place to store it. So when things start happening, and as they start happening, I'm going to give you guys updates. But right quick, I want to show you my sunflowers, because I have to brag about those. I'm not actually bragging because I didn't actually do anything. I just put the seeds in the ground and the plant did it. It's miraculous how that works. And then I have to show you this like 100-year-old tree that's in the other property that we found. I've never been one for doing flowers. I've always grown vegetables. It never occurred to me how important those were. And I do apologize that this is so close in on my face here. Can you see up my nose? Can you tell my future? I never figured myself for a flower person, but then I realized all that stuff's necessary too. And then after growing just sunflowers, I'm like, I like flowers. Okay, we're gonna do flowers next time. So there's that. I wish there was a place I could put my camera so I could back up to the tree so you could actually get an accurate representation of how large this tree is. If anybody comments poltergeist, the tree in front of that building, no. Anyway, there's a couple of trees that are pretty big. That's the biggest one on the property, and the one we're most concerned about because the inside is actually hollow. I'm not sure if now that I think about it, for posterity, there's a word. that a little bit creepy? I almost want to leave it there and then stick a pumpkin in it for Halloween. But yeah, one of the tree limbs on the other side of it is the size of a tree. Also, I didn't show this side of the garden because it's kind of piddly. The vine borers got in it. I haven't seen a squash in forever. Over a month now, so I'm pretty sure they're gone. I tried really hard to save them a couple of times to see if I could root out where the vine borer was. Nope, I was too late, I guess. But that is it. There's a storm coming in and it's evening time. And guys, still continue to hit me up in the comment section with ideas for the homesteading channel. I don't know if we should go the homesteading route, if we should go the gardening route. Definitely not farmer, because I'm pretty sure that insinuates I'm selling stuff and I'm not. So, homesteading or gardening? I think after we redo the kitchen, I'll probably be doing some canning and some recipes, and there's a spider climbing on my... It's challenging me. It's on top of the camera. It poofed itself up. Now it's cleaning itself. Awesome. Anyway, if you have any ideas for good names for the homesteading channel or whatever, we've had a couple of recommendations that were really, really good. But throw your name in the pot, see, throw it out there and see what sticks, I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and call it before the storm comes in. It's not the snacky snakes. You're gonna knock all of the things down here. Gonna have the snacky snack for the kitty cat. Just 4, no more than 4, because you'll get sick. There you go. Hello everybody, welcome to, not my garden this time, but in my garden video, because I'm doing a grouping of stuff, because each different thing has different things that I am talking about. This one in particular happens to be things that I have ordered for the garden that are actually, I can do them in here where it's nice and cool and quiet and stuff like that. So we're going to be in here. I have ordered some seeds and stuff from Botanical Interest. Not sponsored or anything else like that. It just happened to be who I was ordering from at this particular time. I'm not exactly into the one seed place person type of thing, but I was looking for a good recommendation on places, so I watched a couple of content creators that do gardening, and I like their gardens and I like how they do their content, obviously. And this is the seed company that they use, so I figured I would give it a try, because the seeds that I've been getting, they're kind of hit or miss. I think they're like year-old seeds. So I may not be getting like the best I could possibly be getting. But I also ordered a magazine for springtime from Botanical Interest to see whether or not they have some interesting stuff for next year. But we'll find out. Right now, we're going to actually do a box opening for seeds. This is stupid, I know. But I will be honest with you, I was so giddy when this box arrived. It was silly. It was like getting a Christmas present, almost. But I ordered it myself, but at the same time, it was kind of like a Christmas present, so let's open it. Let's do it in the most unsafe way possible, okay? Comes with this cool, like, trading card box. If I was still playing Magic, this would be such a good box. Liz cannot figure out how box operates. Oh, I had it upside down. I need that. Nice. At least I'll have a good box to store my seeds in later on. We have paper, a seed starting guide, free seed starting guide, and it teaches you about the packets themselves, because they really put a lot of information on their packets. So bunches of information. I was at the mark of like $46, so if I ordered $50 worth of stuff, they'd ship it to me free. So I just went ahead and ordered some stuff so I can actually keep track of what it is that I planted. Okay, what I got. Okay. What I got was a whole lot of stuff for now, August, into September and October. I am in a 7B growing season. We have approximately 90-ish, I think. We might be into 85s-ish. I'm getting kind of close there, guys. I'm running out of time. I don't know if all these will be planted this year. They might have to get planted next year, which is fine. I'll have the seeds for next year. And I'll just, like, double plant because they may not all germinate, but it's fine. What I'm planning on doing is doing fall garden bits, but I'm not necessarily doing, like, winter squash, because I think I probably would have needed to start those so that they would be done with their sprouting and growing I think I'm off by a couple of weeks. But my intention is to get the garage cleaned up. I don't know in what order Liz is putting these videos together, so if I've already seen the part where I was talking outside, the garage that I pointed to, that's actually going to be where I do my seeds starting just as soon as I get the thing cleaned out, because it's actually quite a mess right now. It has been housing animals during the wintertime, and it was housing my Mustang during the rainy season, so it was supposed to get moved. The Mustang is supposed to get moved out, and the puppers' new places have been built because we didn't know if we were moving, so we didn't put anything permanent in. We just kind of had them in the yard in safe places, and now they've got their permanent pen, and they're safe and happy and snuggly and everything else like that in there. So I finally get the garage. So, what all did we get? I got snapdragons because I have heard really good things about snapdragons, and I have found that putting more and more plants inside also makes me feel better. So if I can get some cuttings and bring in some flowers, but I like growing flowers and clipping and making like flower arrangements. Not that I'm good at it, I just like doing it. We have got feverfew, which is a really good herb. We have got Chinese lanterns. I have never seen these. I'm not really sure what to expect, and I'm not even sure if I have enough time right now. It takes 25 days for these things to emerge, so I'm not sure if these will get planted this year. I'm going to be looking back through all of these because I ordered these 2 weeks ago. No, 3 weeks ago. I got them a week ago, and I've been sitting on them trying to get everything situated so I could do a video. And I'm just having to do it now. So anyway, we've got some savory. I've never tried to grow this, so that's going to be something new. Lemon balm. I've never tried growing this kind either. Dill. I have grown this before, and it grows pretty well in this climate. I don't know that we'll actually get a chance to grow this year, but I got it. Chamomile. Same. I've never grown it. I've heard great things about it, especially chamomile tea, which would be awesome. A new kind of radish. I've never tried growing these. I've always grown the exact same kind of radishes my entire life. So I've got some new radishes. Sugar daddy snap peas. Never tried growing these either. Leeks. Never tried growing them. Are we seeing a trend yet? Cauliflower. Never tried to grow that. Cabbage. Never tried to grow that. Brussels sprouts. I have never tried to grow this, and I don't even like them. I don't like Brussels sprouts. But from what I hear, a lot of moms in the 90s, they all steamed them or boiled them or something like that, and they wound up slimy. And I hear that there are other ways to cook them that make them like little cabbages and crispy heavenly bits. And I'm like, okay, I'll try that. I'll try it. I like cabbage. So I'll give this a shot. We also got broccoli. Never tried to grow that. Bok choy. I've never tried to grow this. Tigers keeps talking about it, so I ordered it. And then we have some long-standing cilantro. I do already have some cilantro. It's not long-standing cilantro, but it has matured, seeded, and I have replanted the seeds from my own plant back into the pot, which was really, really fun. So the seeds being the cilantro seed is coriander, which is also a spice, which should be cool if I've got two different varieties. One that's going to give me my cilantro, especially going into the fall time, and that will be nice. Hang on. I gotta go for a thing. And I got some thank you lettuce. It's a good lettuce mixture too. I thought about getting some, but I didn't get some. So I'm glad I got that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was my unboxing. I actually like doing these unboxings, and I kind of want to go through more of them later on. Still, yet again, also, I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be on the same video, so I'll just be repeating it in case Editing Liz needs it here rather than at the end. If you happen to have an idea for a homesteading / gardening channel, if you have any ideas, stick them down in the comment section. Who knows? I will probably be launching it just as soon as we get some specific things done. Namely the trees, as soon as I know where the tree situation is going to be, where the garden's going to be, and the other building down there, the side is done. Just because we're going to have contractors going through there, and I don't want to set something up and then have to tear it down or move it or something like that in order to be able to work on things. So I'm still working on it, and I've got ideas and things like that, but you guys let me know what you think. I hope this was fun. It was probably very, very quick. And now I have a box for all of my seeds. I've been carrying them around in a tea box. That's all I got for this segment, guys. I don't know if Editing Liz has got more to add to this. If not, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. You have a wonderful day, and wonderful night, and you stay shiny. Bye.